Hey guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for My Hero Academia, Boku no Hero Academia, Season 2, Episode 5. And right off the bat, I want to say that I think Bakugo and Ida both pretty much ended up getting the spotlight in this one. Bakugo especially, because Ida, he pretty much he delivered on his promise by making sure to go full. He Ida went full force on his promise to go full force against Izuku, and he did with that whole over with that final move he did with his quirk pretty much, which that she was like actually this whole episode was just like a knockout drag out fucking brawl, and I loved every second of it, but there was still some room for some interesting stuff in there. And Bakugo, I think for sure definitely got the spotlight this time because exactly like Izuku in the last episode, I feel that this one I feel that this one did really good in reminding us that hey, Izuku isn't the only one who's actually smart and in the class. Like I think that's a lot of thing. I think that's one thing that people kind of have a false perception of with Bakugo is just because he's loudmouth. He just because he's loudmouth. He's very coarse in his language, and he's very eager. It doesn't mean he doesn't have smarts, because he does have actually. Just pretty much in this episode alone, it showed how smart he can be, but pretty much by making use of every single one in his group, in his cavalry group. He was using each and every one of them. He's using each and every one of them in order to steal points away from away from everyone else, and or specifically that I guess that one this I guess that one crossfuck that one crossfuck that one crossfuck I mentioned in my last episode. Yeah, I'm not even gonna mention his name anymore. I'm just gonna call him a crossfuck. But yeah. But yeah, I think that whole spotlight on Bakugo and Ida did good for the characters, and showcasing that yes, but in reminding us as the audience that yes, even though Bakugo does come across as a bit of a as a as a very as a very not as a very loudmouth character, he does have smarts, and he does have the knowledge and the know-how in order to make use of the situation and the people around him. So yeah, that was good in that aspect. Also, I want to mention something that I guess I haven't really been very good at mentioning, which is the animation. The animation in these past couple episodes have been fantastic. Honestly, like, okay, the animation did have a couple dips here and there. I will admit that, but overall, in these past couple episodes I've watched, like past two or three episodes I've watched, it was Bones has been going all out on its animation, honestly. Um, Another thing is that all these character introductions now, a lot of people might see all these character introductions as overkill, and yeah, I can even when I was first watching this series, and even when I was first watching and reading this series of Boku no Hero Academia, even I kind of thought all these characters were kind of were a little overkill, but just trust me, as someone who's read the manga, all these characters do actually have a point. It just the mangaka he doesn't mangaka of the manga the mangaka Ikoshi Kohei. He does have a habit of introducing a lot of characters, but he does still make sure in order to make use of each and every one of them, and that's one thing I really he does still, and that's one thing I really like. So yeah, it may take a while, but trust me, each and every one of these characters is going to serve a point at some point or another. Also in this episode, I feel that Izuku, while he wasn't as big a focus for me as Bakugo or Ida or even Todoroki for that matter, I feel he did have some good moments. Like in this in this episode when he was when he was attempting in order to get when he was really trying hard in order to get some points on the board, and he finally used his quirk. He finally used his quirk after so long of actually of actually of delaying and using his quirk. He actually did actually find a way in order to use his quirk one for all without actually breaking his arm this time. Like he used it he used his quirk in a way in order to actually grab some headbands rather than actually hit someone with it. So yeah, I feel that just proves that when Izuku is in the right situation and when he really puts his mind to it, he can actually use his quirk effectively without actually breaking his arm. So yeah, but it does actually beg the question as to when. So I feel that Izuku is on the right path towards. This is the series' way of showcasing that Izuku is on the right path towards harnessing his power. It's just a matter of, I guess, when he finally manages to control it when he hits something or someone. So yeah, hopefully he will eventually come to get around to finding a way to in order to controlling his power and whatnot. And yeah, another thing I like is that how at the end when the whole time was done and over said with, Izuku was basically worried because Izuku thought he only managed to get, I think it was 70 points. I think that's what he was worried he only managed to get. But lo and behold, our favorite Birdman, our favorite Birdman Toke Oyami, he ended up coming through for us in the end. In the brief instance that apparently he managed to distract in the brief instance that Izuku was distracting Todoroki with that swipe and grabbing the 70-point headband. Apparently he meant apparently Toke Oyami himself managed to grab a 500 point headband, I think is what it was, and that landed them in fourth place. Now, in the end, it's kind of all up to perception as to how you perceive it, but in the way I like how Izuku and his team ended up only in fourth place rather than like third, second, or first place, because okay, in a way it is kind of ad because in the end it still ended up making it to the next round, which people will argue about to death pretty much. But in a way, I still think it works because even though he did get past, he didn't necessarily win again. He managed to skirt by on the last on what the top four are considered last place. So yeah, I feel it's kind of a way of showcasing that okay, it's it is him getting by, but it's done in a different way, and I've really always liked that about Boku no Hero Academia too. Is that they do things in a with Boku no Hero Academia has a way of doing it in a very different way, only compared to how most shonen would do. Like in Naruto, for example, Naruto would pretty much end up in first place. Let's not split hairs here. Any other shonen protagonist would end up in first place, but here Izuku didn't. So yeah, I really like that. Also, on a final note, that cliffhanger with All Might, Endeavor, and Izuku and Todoroki, that shit was hype. Like don't get me wrong, this entire episode it was good. It had a lot of fast paced action, but the atmosphere in those last two scenes, in those last two corresponding scenes, that just really hypes me up because I get the feeling even though I think the All Might and Endeavor scene is probably going to be played up a little more for comedy in a way, the Todoroki and Izuku scene, I feel we're finally going to get a lot of background on what exactly on what it is that a lot of background on what it is that exactly that why Todoroki hates his father and whatnot. So yeah, I think we're gonna get a lot of background here in the next episode. So yeah, I can't wait for the next one. Um, but yeah, guys, that's my review of My Hero Academia, Boku no Hero Academia, season 2, episode 5. Great, action-packed episode, and I can't action-packed episode with an awesome cliffhanger, and I just can't wait for more. But yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Death Night of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.